Hey friends, Carrington here from Firm Foundation Family Services. A quick thought today about one of the things that really, uh, I guess, it sort of informs the way that I work with my clients. Um, it is an ever present factor in the conversations that I have professionally and personally as well, but certainly from a professional standpoint, and that is curiosity. How my goal as a therapist is wrapped up in and involves the growing in the ability to express curiosity in relationship. When your spouse has hurt you, asking the question, what might have caused that? What was going on for them when that happened? Uh, why do they act like that? Why do I respond the way that I do? That is such a crucial piece of learning how to come together with other people in relationship. We are drawn to wanting to be understood. Most people that I know, uh, when they enter into conflict, the point is the initial desire is to be understood. I want you to know where I'm coming from, and so I'm going to explain myself, and maybe I'm going to do that in a reasoned and logical way. Maybe I'm going to get impassioned. Maybe I'm going to get angry. Maybe I'm going to get emotional. Somehow, I want to get my point across such that you understand what it feels like to be me. And it's so important in relationships that we learn to flip the script on ourselves and say, how do I get to know you? How do I learn to elevate your voice in my own mind, in my um, engagement with you, so that my primary objective is to understand what you're going through, what it's like to be you. You know, James exhorts us to be quick to listen and slow to speak. In Proverbs, was it chapter 18, talks about um, taking in people's stories, right? That one person's argument sounds right until you hear the other side. It talks about the giving an answer before you hear the whole story. That's what fools do, right? There's over and over in Scripture we see this value placed on listening, taking things in, um, making sure that whatever responses we have are actually informed and not just reactive, or not just that we wouldn't listen to respond, but that we would listen to understand, so that when we respond, those responses would make sense, would take into account the other person's point of view. I just want to encourage you to think about that today. I see it all the time on a daily basis when I'm working with clients, the difficulty we have in leaning into that curious piece, because so often we say, well, how come they're not curious about me? Don't, why do I have to be the curious one? And well, okay, who's going to start? Who's going to be the one to say, gosh, this is really hard, but I want to know you better. I want to understand what's happening between us so that I can reach across this chasm between us. So I just encourage you to think about that today. I think that's a really, um, it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. So if you can remember the next time you get into a conflict with a spouse, a parent, a child, um, how do I get curious about what's going on for them so that I can better understand where they're coming from, and how that informs the way we're engaging right now? Can be a really helpful way to dig under some of the layers there. So, hope that helps. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.